I would now like to welcome our president, Peter MacKinnon, to rise and deliver his opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Honourable Minister, Madam Chair, Platform Party, graduates, and dear guests, one and all. May I echo the words of those who have gone before me in extending a very warm welcome to our graduates who have chosen to travel, some a very great distance, to be with us today. And an equally warm welcome to your families and friends who have come to share this day with you. I would like to acknowledge the traditional territories where we are gathered today and the original peoples of these lands, especially the Cree who have resided here for millennia and the Métis. Both peoples were present at the making of Treaty 8. I attended my first AU convocation almost exactly 2 years ago. And I was struck by how unique it was. Of the many convocations I've attended over my career, 140 and counting, this one stands out. It stands out because of its uniqueness, because it focuses upon you, our students, and especially upon your stories. And it stands out for all the reasons that AU has a special place in the post-secondary world. We are, it has been mentioned, it will be mentioned many times, an open university, open to all learners, all ages, all circumstances. If you bring a desire to learn, we provide the opportunity. Almost entirely online. As I look upon your faces today, I know that many of you appreciate the fact that AU was only a few mouse clicks away whenever you were able to find the time to continue your studies. Our flexibility is designed to match your busy lives, and we're accessible anywhere. Rural communities, work camps, cruise ships, your home, your desk, anywhere. We come to you. When surveyed, 78% of our students report that without the opportunities afforded by Athabasca University, they would not have been able to access university education, or they would have experienced great difficulty in doing so. Think about that. 78% of our students report this. Could any other university in Alberta or in Canada make that claim? I doubt it. Our mission is as special as it is unique. When you leave here today after this wonderful convocation ceremony, graduates, I hope you will become ambassadors for our university to help spread the word about our value in the world of post-secondary education in this province, across the country, and indeed abroad. That we are open, that we are online, and that we are anywhere. And if you do that and help us spread the word about our mission, you may help other learners who will someday be sitting where you sit now. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for choosing Athabasca University. And I wish each and every one of you the very best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. The Order of Athabasca University is given to recipients that have provided exemplary service to Athabasca University or have rendered exemplary service to the community or society while representing Athabasca University. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Rory McGreal to introduce our inductee to the Order of Athabasca University.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Mr. President, distinguished guests. members of the platform party, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to introduce today Dr. Terry Anderson. Terry is a world-renowned researcher in distance learning. He's winner of Canadian and international awards, including that of a Canada Research Chair. He's the writer of many books, and some have been reprinted in Chinese and Arabic and other languages, and numerous articles that are cited by researchers all over the world. I'm going to read you some statements now from international experts in distance education. The first from Mark Brown, who's the director of the National Institute for Digital Learning in Ireland. He says, Terry has had a huge influence on the field of open and distance learning around the world and is one of the real giants of our time. His influence extends to all parts of the globe, and I expect Terry's research and academic work will continue to shape our thinking for many years to come. Dr. Morten Flat-Paulsen, the former president of the European Distance Education Network, tells us that Terry Anderson was the organizer of the world's first massive open online course, which we hear of so much today. And this was back in the early 1990s. Alan Tate, the Director of International Development and Teacher Education at the Open University of the UK, he says that there is for Terry, both professionally and for his very open and honest approach to all things, he needs to be commended. His work on ERODL, the International Review of Research in Open and Distance Learning, has been pioneering. It is the first open access press university journal in Canada, and he has also been instrumental in the formation of AU Press, Canada's open access university press. His work has been of the highest quality in establishing what an open access online journal can be. Dr. Wayne McIntosh, director of the Open Educational Research Foundation in New Zealand, tells us that online educators internationally owe a debt of gratitude to Terry Anderson for his groundbreaking research on educational networks. Don Alcott, former president of the Global Observatory for Education in the UK and former president of the United States Distance Learning Association, tells us that Terry Anderson is one of the most respected leading researchers in distance education internationally. Terry is known around the world for the high quality of his research and teaching, his openness, and his humanity. His answer to the question, what is the most important thing in education? His answer, it's the student. It's the student. It's the student. I am proud to present to you today Dr. Terry Anderson.
Well, after that introduction, I hope I won't be too much of a disappointment for my next 3 minutes to address you. But Madam Chair, Mr. President, distinguished guests, members of the Platform Party, and most especially the graduates, and ladies and gentlemen. First, a big thank you to each one of you in this room and for the opportunity that I've had at Athabasca University. I think I'm the first faculty member who didn't later become a president to win this award, and so I feel very deeply honored for your recognition, and not just for my work, but for our work together here at Athabasca University. Today is primarily a day for the graduates, and thus I would like to use most of my 3 minutes on the stage to congratulate each one of them. But not only the graduates, but also the family members, the friends, the networks of support that each one of these graduates has had to build in order to make them successful. All of my research has been focused on the distance education learning experience. And one of the most common questions is distance education as good as campus-based education? Well, we actually don't research that question anymore because it's getting to be a very boring question. And even after 30 years of research, roughly 90% of the results of these studies shown that there is no significant difference in educational outcomes between campus-based and distance education learning experience. And even where there is a difference in those 10% that show a difference, there is as equal likelihood that the distance education have higher learning outcomes than those of campus-based students. But what distance education students build, and usually in larger doses than campus students, is self-efficacy. Distance learning builds knowledge and belief in yourself and the empowered understanding that you can achieve your goals. You just cannot earn a distance education degree without being or getting good at creating and meeting deadlines and producing quality output, usually without the help of peers or classmates. And so today I celebrate your earned increase in self-efficacy. But to be sure, this graduation milestone does not mark the end of your learning. Technological and social change continues to happen and will likely continue to happen even at a faster rate in the future. Luckily, I know this for sure because of your experience with AU, you are armed with the confidence and the knowledge that you can learn and you can learn successfully. You have self-efficacy, you can succeed, and you will succeed as lifelong learners. Finally, I want to speak to my colleagues and friends here in our broader Athabasca University community. Bear with me as I don my sailor's cap and say that, which is one of the pleasures of being retired, I might add, that obviously as an institution, we're continuing to sail through some very rough waters. We're facing winds and weather that's very hard to predict, but the glass is rising, and certainly there is value and risk in every decision we make. But I want to continue to urge us to use the ever-increasing power of networks, and importantly, our own network skills, to work together to build a new kind of university, a university that is not like Athabasca University of 1970, and indeed it is not like Athabasca University of 2016. But we are building a university that marries academic knowledge, collegial support, and governance with cost and time-effective ways to study and teach. Alone and together, we need to support and create better and more efficient personal, academic, administrative, and community networks. These networks have demonstrated they produce the power to be critical components of the new net-era university, and thus they are a challenge for each of us to navigate, but a necessary one. Oh, have I mentioned the Athabasca Landing yet? Thank you.